probably too much we could do, but back then there was some tires and stuff, but Saturday I went by there, and somebody dumped a bunch of burnt
I don't know that that's
wood,
when.
Where do you want to?
and they backed over the sign, no trespassing sign.
Right. Don't even slow them up now.
It's time for the oath of office administered by the Honorable Judge Sullivan. And I have the oaths right here.
You're gonna do a group or individual?
However you prefer.
Group.
Group.
I'm going to do a group, then I'll get you over here.
Forget it.
Don't have to go through six of them.
Right, right.
It'd be nice if everybody would come into frame.
Yeah, because we don't need this.
I'll get in the back, I'm told.
He's been in the back ever since he was a little kid.
Get your hands off it. That's all we need is a sexual harassment charge.
I don't suppose there's any way we could make it go that way so I could get you squarely on the camera. We want to see your faces.
He's on the he's talking about the video.
Video camera. Okay, well, go ahead.
Little smile or something.
If you would each raise your hand and repeat after me. I state your name, Earl Jack Boyd, having been elected to the office of County Board
Elected to the office of County Board.
in and for the county of Edgar and the state of Illinois.
And for the county of Edgar and the state of Illinois.
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of county board member
of the office of county board member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
If you each would come up and sign.
Yeah, I think they were in order by district. Lisa?
So much for organizing it, Augie.
I should know, well, this is our organizational meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
There's one behind there. I think we found it.
Sunday's Chamber of Commerce meeting.
Congratulations.
I won't make 4 years, but that's all right.
Well, you never know. I think you will.
I'm gonna find a son just in case.
Congratulations, Carl.
You know, what's happened to Phil last year? This year, I said, you know, maybe we could put a fence across here, at least maybe that can deter him back in there.
Careful what you ask for.
You're a glutton. Glutton for punishment.
You realize how much money he got last week at the train station?
Thank you.
For all the kids' meals and all that.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
You're gonna go ahead and call the roll.
I'm ready. Yep.
That was kind of what I had in mind.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Brandon. All right, congratulations to all of you being sworn in. Now, if you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And does that need to be adjusted?
No, it was in, maybe just a hair it would be. Thank you for reminding me. Okay.
Dan's just aware.
Gotcha.
Roll call. Lawton.
Here.
Luddington. Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Ellis.
Present.
Farnham.
Here.
And Voigt.
Here.
Okay. Now, the first order of business is the selection of the chairman. Are there any nominations for chairman of the board?
I nominate Jeff Boyd.
Okay. There's a first
I'll second that.
and a second by Lawton. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Jeff.
Condolences.
Now, are there any nominations to select a vice chairman?
Yes, I would nominate Carl Farnham.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Dan? Any discussion to that? Carl, you can back out if you'd like. Not. Kidding. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Carl, vice chairman. Chairman Voigt, would you please take your seat? And he will continue with the meeting.
Thank you, Walt. Appreciate it. We've got a big year ahead of us, so to that end, we have added, normally this is just a swearing-in ceremony, but we've added some items to the agenda that needed to be taken care of and not wait till later on in the month. Item 6 is authorize the chairman to execute all documents necessary for the purchase of the Diamond Brothers Building, 111 Sheriff Street in Paris, Illinois. They do have a copy of that, right?
Yes.
So, the attorneys have looked at it and said that it's good to go. The only thing that we don't have yet is the lease, but Dick James and the state's attorney are working on that. There was a lease, and the lease will cover the part that we're going to let them use for anywhere from a couple of months up to a year until we can move into that part of it. So, are there questions that I might answer or anything? The purchase price is $325,000. They're working on a inventory of furniture that we may be able to purchase, and once we have that, then I'll bring that to the board for your decision on what you want to do with that. But I think everything's in order, so, questions?
Did we ever get a copy of the appraisal? Do you know? I just wanted to know.
I don't know, and I thought Josh would be here. We can get one.
Okay,
I'll get one.
that's fine.
Any other questions? Yes, Dan?
You talked about, I think it was the south side has a lot of trees and stuff that you thought maybe could be removed. Is that a possibility?
Yes,
Dan, or
I'm working on that.
Andy? To this point, there was off the northwest corner, off the very corner, was a wire going, and I think it was some communications line.
Yeah, it's like.
But it had branches laying on it, and it was pulling on the building. That has already been taken care of.
Okay.
I asked Donnie if, I told him about the problem it was causing him and us in the future, and he went ahead and had it down in a couple couple of days.
Okay.
But then you're gonna get a hold of CIPS or whoever.
And see if they can at least trim it good enough to where maybe we can get rid of all that trash back there so you don't have future problems.
Right. And of course, you were gonna also look at having, who were you gonna have?
T-Marks,
Yeah,
Rowdy Brown,
yeah, those guys
come
too.
look at that back wall.
Right. Okay. Anything else?
I didn't get it, Augie, I didn't get the copy of that through the mail. It didn't
Your
come.
board packet didn't come in time?
So I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I just happened to see in Saturday's paper, it said that Diamond Brothers, they just moved one door down, which confused me a little bit. So I went by there yesterday and saw the sign that, you know, they were just down in that other, they're gonna be in that other part.
Yeah.
So I guess you mentioned they're planning on staying there 2 months to a year till they find someone at.
They
some
figure
other
this
place.
spring, they'll
Okay.
be out of there, is what
Okay.
they figure.
All right,
But they wanted to give them time.
yeah. I was just a little confused on that. I wasn't sure what was going on with that.
Donnie asked me to make a statement here, and I guess this is as good a time as any. He wanted to make sure that folks knew that the Diamond Brothers was going to be there for a while, and that everything, every payment and everything that they could normally do there can be had and done there. If they do, when they do move, not if, but when they do move, they'll do an advertisement and make sure that everybody's communicated with and all of their policyholders. But Diamond Brothers is not vacating. We haven't even signed the papers or had a closing yet. So they have, by the way, vacated the rest of the building. But they do maintain those 4 offices and the conference room and the front desk, okay? But they are still receiving payments and appointments there, okay? Excuse me. So, I wanted to make sure that was clear. Yes, Dan?
I noticed, it's probably been a while since the parking lot's been sealed. Now, but is that something maybe you talked about doing next summer?
Yeah.
It looks like it really needs sealed.
The nice thing about these is that the highway department,
Right.
I mean, we're gonna have to pay the highway
Yeah.
department to do it, but they'll be able to help us
Okay,
with that.
it just
Yes,
looks
sir.
like it's kind of,
Yeah, and it's gonna need restriping,
yeah,
okay, you know, stuff like that.
okay, I just wanted.
And of course, we're looking at the blocks in the back to do some maintenance on that. And the metal, the metal pieces, what do they call those? Across the top of the door? Lentils? Yeah, they need to be replaced.
Yeah.
So there's some work to be done,
We'll work on the back.
okay? You know, we gotta figure out, we gotta get the lease signed and we gotta have a closing. And so everything will transpire. I've had Don and Dina over there so far to take a look at it. They were surprised and pleased, so. Anyway, did you have anything more, Andy? Okay.
No.
All right, a motion to approve the chairman executing the documents for the purchase of Diamond Brothers Building. Russ moves, Andy seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes,
Ellis, Farnum,
Yes.
Voigt, yes.
Voigt, yes.
Sorry.
Motion carried.
Okay, the next item, resolution to approve a revised Klingner Associate Architectural Report for the new Edgar County Public Safety Facility. The reason we're doing that is the original report went in on the day before Thanksgiving. Believe it or not, they reviewed it that day, and they had changes that they wanted made in a form that it basically didn't, they wanted it to follow a certain form so that they could package it, approve it, and send it to Washington. So, I'm sorry, folks. Do you? Yes, thank you. So they have you see this report here, and I've been through it twice. I made some grammatical corrections that I gave Michael this morning, but there was one rather glaring thing that I wanted to make sure that he did. And that is on page 27, on line 35, public safety tax. The audited amount for FY '21 was $1,307,111. So we wanted that to be accurate. They took that as away from the budget as a transfer rather than the actual amount, and I explained that that's what the actual amount we collected for fiscal year '21 was.
You sure it's on page 27?
Yeah, down at.
Oh, down at
35. And what did you say the correct amount was?
$1,307,111, and that's right out of the audit. This year, it's going to be roughly, I'm just guessing at this point, because we've still got 3 months to come in, and that, the report will be corrected to show that, and we'll get that out to you. There was some typos that I corrected, but the rest of the report seemed good. So if you have any input, let me know, or call Michael. The safety tax is on line to do 1.44 this year on 22. So just to give you an idea.
Keeps increasing a little bit.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah, we were knocking, the first couple of months it was, 80-some thousand, 90,000. Now it's up between 120 and 130,000 a month. So it's changed. So, can I have a motion to pass this resolution? Carl moves.
Sorry, I got a question first.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking slowly here. So on the proposed funding and the safety tax, that's the actual amount, and the proposed, the tentative actual amount, but that isn't all earmarked for that project,
Yeah, we have.
because half of it goes to current sheriff expenses, right?
Well, we're putting in more now, but this coming year, we're backing it down to 7, and eventually it'll be back down to about 5. The target for paying off bonds or loans is 900,000.
So that'll leave 500 to go to help the sheriff's department
Okay,
operate.
so this, not that this isn't a factual number and for this purpose, but it isn't the number that we actually plan on applying towards the loan.
No, this is just simply a justification to the USDA that we would be able to make payments.
Okay,
Okay, that just shows that they're not, a lot of agencies will go in with this plan and not have any funding source at all, even to pay the loan off. We're going in and saying, we went and did this, and now we've got everything lined up and we want your help. Okay? Okay, Carl moved and Andy seconded. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis, and
Yes.
Farnum.
Good, thank you, that does carry. Next, do you want to explain the Scrivener's error?
Sure. As required by statute, we passed a resolution that would set the salaries for elected officials who have just now taken office, first part of December. We did that last April. And in the drafting of the salary resolution, if you'll note in the middle of the page where where there's the chart. It starts out, the actual resolution we passed started out with fiscal year '22, then '23, then '24, then '25. But actually, it should be fiscal year '23, '24, '25, '26.
And it's confusing because the actual year starts in '22, but it's for FY '23.
Right, right.
So,
And-
just to clarify.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the resolution, it states which officers who are elected when they take office, December 1st, and then the county board takes office December 5th, all of 2022. So it was my mistake. It should have just, I was off a year. So the Scrivener's error is just to just change those fiscal years to make them more accurate.
Motion to approve
I
this
have
res-
another question.
Okay.
So on the sheriff, so now that there's a state law regarding sheriff's salary,
Yeah.
this is our portion that we are paying toward it?
I don't,
Because
that's
when
not
we-
the
when
sheriff's
we
salary.
worked-
That's gotta be.
When
So
we
that's
worked
what
on this, it was before that law.
Right.
Yeah, this
Right.
was set before that,
Right.
so,
That still happens.
Okay.
yes,
It's 116,000
Yeah, that's what I was
and
gonna
change.
ask.
80%.
So the state just matches the difference.
They will match up to 66%. So they pay 66% of 116 grand. And
Okay.
we do a P-tax, which was already done. I signed it last week and sent it in, and we'll start receiving 66% of his salary every month.
So it won't actually be this amount that's coming out of
No,
ours?
no,
Okay.
that was passed before all that law took place. So we've got to make sure that it's consistent.
Gotcha.
Okay, there's a state law that supersedes this on the sheriff. Okay,
So actually, the salary is 117.
is it?
No, that's a question.
It's-
That was his question.
That was just my question, with
Yeah.
this law being in effect, is
I
this?
had to have, it's so much of a percent of the state's attorney.
Okay.
It's like 80% of the state's attorney. Okay, so it's between 116 and 117,000. Okay?
So having this line left in here doesn't
Yeah.
cause us any problems?
No.
It's just not necessarily valid?
It's just a cleanup.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions, please? Okay, motion to approve. Carl moves. Andy seconds. Any further questions, please? Would you call the roll,
yes,
Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner, Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes.
Next item is the state's attorney, let's see, the appellate prosecutor program beginning December 1st. Normally, we passed this last month and it got overlooked upstairs, and so we're passing it now. It's $7,000, and what it does, you know, like some of the lawsuits we get into, the state's attorney is not, doesn't have the background or the time, so we hire the appellate prosecutor, and they fight our battles for us, okay? So motion to approve the resolution to participate in the appellate prosecutor program through the next fiscal year to the tune of $7,000. Dan moves. Carl seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes.
That does carry, thank you. Next, Carl and 911 have reached an agreement on the dispatching services agreement for the next fiscal year. It's little changed, but there's some significant changes in the verbiage. So, Carl, did you want to describe? I think it's
Well,
fairly straight.
last year's agreement, when it was originally signed, it was for 6 full-time dispatchers, but
Well, it says that there were currently 6. And that, I don't even think that's true, was it?
well, for like a month, they had 6, and then 2 people quit, so they was able to get back to 5, and for now, everybody agrees that we'll stay at 5. So I ran all the costs for this upcoming year and come up with $294,000 for the total cost for dispatching for 2022, 2023. And the past agreement we've had with the 911 board was that they pay 45% of the total cost. So their portion will be $132,410. And they make quarterly payments, and the quarterly payments are $32,102. So that's what this agreement is, just,
Any questions?
What was it last year, 25, wasn't
actually, last year it was
33,700.
$33,731, because when we originally signed that agreement, it was with they were signing on 6 dispatchers, but that,
That wouldn't even been enough, but
right, so,
at any rate.
but this should be pretty close.
Any more questions? Carl, is that a motion?
Yes.
Carl moves. Andy seconds. Any further discussion, please? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Lawton,
it? Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
and Farnum.
It does carry. Is there any public comment at this point in time? Okay. Does anybody from out there have anything to say? Cindy? Nope, everybody's quiet, all right. Motion to I know what, you have copies that I got, or we got on the 1st or 2nd of December that show a slightly changed floor plan, but they're working on another floor plan right now that changes a few items. One of the questions I asked, or was asked by Michael, was whether the conference room in the jail facility at 10 people comfortably was big enough. They're moving around a few toilets so that they're in close proximity to each other, so they don't have to run plumbing everywhere. They've expanded, not on this one, but in the new one you'll get here later today or tomorrow, they've expanded the med area. And Carl suggested that we might want to run that by HRC to make sure that they don't have any issues or suggestions. There's a few other things. They've shrunk down the kitchen a little bit more and expanded some of the storage. And I think that kind of highlights the changes that they're working on right now.
Do what?
Where's
Second page.
The area would be the northeast corner where the kitchen is. You see that they have the med area. They've expanded that above the laundry. And obviously, there'll still be a toilet, but they have a cell there, a medical cell that they're now putting in there. They put in more storage. I wish I had that updated because I'm not too good a drawer, but everything's basically the same, but they have expanded like I said, the med, shrunk the kitchen some. The property is still a large area, and then they've offered some more storage and expanded the laundry a little bit. So, and then in dispatch, you notice that there's a supervisor office and then a toilet. And then you go the other way from the supervisor's offices and there's a public toilet. They're going to rotate the supervisor's office along that, let's see, which wall is that? The north wall, and rotate the toilet back so it's back to back with the public toilet. And that way it'll save a little I'm sure there'll be other suggestions that CORE is gonna offer in this production of this schematic that will offer us some other economies. But I wanted to make sure you saw that. I think we sent it out to you, but it's so small, it's hard to really see, so Josh blew these up on Friday, so went and got them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down to the jail and talk to the sheriff and if the chief deputy's in about this and some other things.
Cool. And notice that, the, oh, darn it, where is the IT? Because we moved the
It
IT.
was over where the chief deputy was. That's where it was. They had it right there. That last.
Right, it's moved. It's down in, oh, the server room, right here.
Okay, I see it
No,
now.
jeez, I couldn't find it. But they have moved it, says it won't be an issue, so I don't know whether we like that or not.
See, your drawing has the conference room moved.
Yeah, this is an old drawing, I'm sorry. Here. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, I don't have a good one. You guys have it. I must have left
There's
mine at
one
home.
on December 1st.
Yeah, that's the one. See, that's why I couldn't find the server room, it's right here.
Where do you say server room is?
Here's dispatch, here's server room.
Well, I know, it was over there, and that was one thing Annette was concerned about, that it needs to be there, but, Michael said they could run everything overhead, so it wasn't an issue, so I don't know why they moved it.
Well, I didn't either.
Yeah,
I didn't ask him to.
right.
Do we wanna move it back, or?
Well, we need to set up a meeting with the sheriff.
Okay,
for
that was gonna be my next,
Yeah.
was do we
Yeah.
need to have a meeting to,
Talking about, because
we're getting down to it.
right,
Where it's
So
gonna
do we
be, what
wanna-
it's gonna be.
What's everybody's availability for the
well, do you wanna do it this
building
week,
committee?
or do you wanna meet with him? Well, we need to talk about that, then we also, another meeting, talk about dispatch. With, depends on whether you wanna do it this week, or like after Monday, or after our study session. I'll go see when they're available.
Yeah,
and
why
I'll
don't you
get back
do that?
with us.
How's
See
that?
if they're available this week, or not. We'll set it up for maybe Monday, 11 o'clock.
I'll leave you with this one now. I don't know what happened to mine. Oh, maybe this is it. Yep, this is the right one. I don't know how I got on the wrong one, but I did.
I don't know why I've got this. Are we done talking about this for now?
What's that?
This Edgar County Mobile Food Ordinance?
Oh, that's gonna come up at the study session on the 12th.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make sure you had it in plenty of time, that they didn't hand it to us the day before we were supposed to, because it's quite voluminous,
Yeah, it is.
and it's big too.
So were they making changes?
No, there isn't one.
Oh,
So it's based largely on Champaign counties. And I believe one other county, but quite a bit of it's based on Champaign County,
when's your next health department meeting?
not until after this
After
board meeting.
Have you guys reviewed it?
Yeah,
We did, but I don't think it's how we wanted it. But we
No.
went ahead and voted on it.
Right, we did.
Are you gonna amend it?
goes along with that whole question about if it's an ordinance, do they have to come before the county board rather than just the health board?
That I don't think is an issue. They do. What qualifies? You know, in other words, if it's what was that other issue that we were looking at? There was some, whether they
Restaurant.
could set the inspection fees without
Right.
going
Yeah,
to the
whether they could
board.
amend or change those inspection fees.
Right.
And since then, but we approved the cottage resolution, which is the home bakers.
And has that come before the board? It has.
Yes.
Yes.
Did
That
come
one did
before
quite a
our?
while ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
I don't think, Monica says we have to approve that mobile deal. My question is if it affects the fees for inspections, but I think, what's her name, is gonna come before us and explain all
Marissa's
that.
gonna come too.
Marissa, yes.
Both of them.
Are you talking about this year's fees? 'Cause
I-
I've already gotten a lot of those have already been paid, I assume.
Well,
What we're talking about her coming next time, not that the conversation can't move, is talking about this food truck
Okay.
ordinance.
and I asked Monica to call Bellwether and ask whether those fees were legally put into effect because it didn't come before the board, our board. And I haven't heard back on that yet.
I'm gonna go have a meeting with her before, because I know she just sent me a text and wanted to make sure that I was at the next county board meeting with her and Marissa. So I'm gonna go sit down with them and find out some more info on that.
And they were gonna come, Augie, to the study session on the 12th,
On the 12th,
rather than
9:30.
the county board meeting.
Is that Monday?
It's a
Yes.
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, 9:30.
At 9:30.
Okay.
Sorry.
No?
Is that clear as mud now? Yes, Dan?
When do we have to start with Paycom? Is that something that I put my information in, but I don't know how that
People,
works.
I haven't, yes,
Pardon?
I haven't put mine in
I
there.
haven't.
I did.
I did,
You did?
yeah,
Holy cow, is it right?
I don't know. Took me 45 minutes to figure it out, but I apparently
Did
did.
do that?
I think it's right.
The payroll with Paycom goes live, the first payroll in January.
Okay.
They pushed it back and
Yes.
everybody's in agreement that that's what needed to happen and there are not any additional fees. They said that where we were gonna be raising Cain.
Poor man.
Yeah.
So that's another question.
Mhm.
So like, if I have meetings, instead of filling out the form that Augie brings, I gotta put it in the computer?
No.
No, you still fill out your form. This was just to make sure you're set up in the system.
Okay.
It doesn't
You're
change
done.
your month-to-month
Okay.
action.
Unless you wanna change something.
Gonna be able to do that, Carl? That's done.
It's a lot of fun, It's a lot of fun.
May go sit at Augie's office and do it.
I don't have internet.
I know, that's why I said you may go sit at Augie's office and do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot
Was
of
it
company.
your
Augie.
office or was the treasurer? It was to go sit with Pam at the treasurer's office.
Either one will accommodate. If you'd like to come over, we'll do
That's
that.
right, it's a lot of fun.
You know, you might wanna sit with Pam. But we've had some hiccups, but it turned out, I think most of those hiccups were due to one individual at Paycom. And we had a little meeting.
We had a come to Jesus meeting.
Well, I was just thinking those terms. And, after that, it appeared to have smoothed itself out.
It did.
And I have communicated back with Caitlin and our salesperson who's been out for medical reasons. My suggestion to her was that she might want to also give those, especially those 3 individuals who spent so much time, a meaningful thank you gift. Because without them, this would not go. And then you have Augie and Dawn on top of it, spending a lot of time, and I don't know about Ross, but It's been a lot.
Do you think I could handle that?
Getting back to the schematic, I will let Michael know that we really don't have an answer for him on a couple of questions. But I would think that we, in order for them to move forward, we need to do that is try to set up a meeting as soon as they can meet. Okay? So let me know, Carl, and we'll get a meeting set up, because I don't wanna say that 10's enough, and I don't wanna say that the server room can be I don't know. But we can accommodate them anywhere. Okay? Anything else to come before the meeting this morning? Hearing nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Andy moves, Russ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
I want to thank you for your interest that you're showing in